What makes it special?
We are, one of the world's leading provider of railway-based sustainability mobility solutions.
Can you please tell me some of the solutions which you have created?
Namo Bharat Trains. This is the first semi-high-speed network to be established in India. So it's a huge feather in our cap.
Right.
First segment of the dedicated freight corridor, which was about 342 kilometers. This entire thing, it was done by Alstom. And this was the first section to be inaugurated by our Honorable Prime Minister. There are a few different ways in which, if you look at it, AI can be deployed. We call it as white box AI.
Do you personally use any of the generative AI products?
I think the best AI that you can use is Google Maps.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Tech Talks. I am Shritama Saha, technology journalist at Analytics India magazine, and today we have with us Thameem Kamaldeen, Managing Director, Infra and Signaling at Alstom India. Alstom is a global leader in providing smart and sustainable mobility solutions across diverse offerings, including rolling stocks, signaling, and services. Today we are at the company's largest digital experience center in Bengaluru, spanning over 60,000 square feet. It is dedicated to improving AI-powered frameworks for faster and safer train operations. How are you, Thameem? How is it going with you?
Thanks a lot for making it here, Shritama. It's a pleasure to welcome you, to the world's first signaling experience center. Okay. It's really one of the, it's a forefront of our digitization efforts in India today, okay, where we are able to bring entire rail system, okay, into a confined space.
Right.
I don't think anybody has done it so far worldwide or nor in India, okay. We are one of the first ones to do this.
Right.
Yeah. And it's an honor to welcome you here.
Thank you so much for having us here. Like how you mentioned, right, this is the first ever signaling center in the India or even the world rather. So what makes it special? What are the solutions that you're building here which are powering the worldwide trains and operations? If you can give us a little brief about that.
Starting off with Alstom per se, okay, like as you mentioned, Alstom, we are one of the world's leading provider of railway-based sustainability mobility solutions, okay. So this includes, both the rolling stock, okay, trains as we commonly call it, okay, and then of course, we have the infrastructure, okay, which involves the civil, the electrification and all that. And then the last but not the least, the most important comes the signaling part, okay. The signaling is basically the brain of the entire rail system, okay. And so when you're talking about a rail system, okay, it is putting all these entities together that make a rail system, okay. First of all, it is very difficult for people to kind of comprehend, what goes on in the rail system, okay. So as a training element, I think if you look at it, for people to really understand how everything, comes together. Okay, so this is something which is, you can only experience when you go to, different sites, okay, and when you go to different control centers and all these things, put together, where you will be able to understand the magnitude of the entire rail system. Okay, so this, what we wanted to do was we wanted to encapsulate it in a confined space where we are able to bring, both to customers, to people, who want to see it, and also to our employees, we wanted to, bring this space, okay, both for, we are planning to do testing here, okay, testing to deliver it to customers, okay, and then training, for our employees also, and also a demonstration of our technology showcase. Okay, so that is basically the premise behind, this digital technology center that you're sitting in. Okay, so this dedicated space, I think if you look at it, it's a few thousand square feet that we have. Okay, and then we have a lab space, together, okay, where basically, we are having a showcase of all the, the R&D activities and, all the, the development, the engineering activities that we are doing over here, which is close to about, 65,000 square feet of space. Okay, all this put together. Okay, so this is what we are talking about, a digital experience center when you are visiting the Alstom facility, okay, which you are sitting in today over here, and it is arguably the largest engineering site also for Alstom signaling in India, in over the world. Okay, like we have a strength of close to around, I think, 75,000 employees. Okay, across the globe, and in India, if you look at it, we have close to around 12,000 people in Alstom. Right, so that's where we are, and this forms the digital technology piece. This experience center forms the digital technology piece of our activities that we are doing as a company.
Right. Thank you so much for giving that intro. Right, like how you were talking about, right, all the signaling solutions, or most importantly, the infrastructures, making it sustainability again. Most of them are done from India. Can you please tell me some of the solutions which you have created, or which one is your favorite one, most importantly?
I think if you look at it, I think, today the train is no longer a piece of equipment. Okay, it's a technology gadget. Okay, today. So when you're talking about a train as a technology gadget, okay, as technology is evolving, as we are moving to new age technologies, okay, be it artificial intelligence, be it cloud computing, be it the next level of communication technologies, okay, cyber security. So if you look at it, all these have started creeping into this gadget today. Okay. So what we are doing in India today, I think if you look at it, it kind of, it interfaces across these different technologies that I spoke to you about. Okay. There is work happening across these technologies, okay, integrating this into our rail solutions. So that is what is going on today. Okay. In fact, if you look at it, artificial intelligence, there are different themes, across which, we are working on artificial intelligence. Okay, over here, how it can be incorporated into railways, be it for safety, security, be it for predictive and preventive maintenance. Okay, be it for maintenance scheduling and these kind of these kind of things, and also a little bit also towards autonomous trains. So all these kind of things we are doing when it comes to artificial intelligence, and but within the ambit of what is safely allowed. Okay, because when you're talking about new age technologies, and when you're talking about railways, if you look at it, the main element of railways, basically, if you look at it, is the first pillar is safety, then you have reliability, and then you have availability. Okay, you bring all these features together, okay, and then you bring an efficient rail network. So that is what you're trying to do. So anytime we are kind of integrating new technologies, new age technologies into rail, we need to very, very clearly understand the effect of these things on the functional safety of rail. That is most important for us.
Right.
Okay, be it AI or any of these new age technologies, I think we first need to understand the impact of these technologies on functional safety, and based on the level in which we are able to ensure that we have the right understanding and it doesn't affect the safety of the system, it is to that extent that we are able to integrate these technologies into our rail domain. And today there is a lot of these activities. Cyber security, if you look at it, we are the center of excellence for Alstom cyber security worldwide. Okay, and also one of the first baselines, we have this subsystem called as automatic train supervision. Okay, which basically ensures your scheduling of the trains, your timetable management, all these kind of things, it is being done by this subsystem called as automatic train supervision. That is being, driven from India. And the first cyber-enabled, baseline for this subsystem was delivered from India to none other than Tel Aviv Metro.
Okay.
So, basically the Israeli network, which is pretty, what do you call? They're extremely popular when it comes to, themes like cyber security and all that. We had the opportunity to deliver the first cyber secured baseline of this product, from India.
Okay.
So it's a huge feather in our cap.
Right.
Yes.
Right, like we were also seeing around how you have, everywhere, not just India or Tel Aviv, Alstom is everywhere powering these connections. So if you can tell me a little more about your collaboration with Indian Railways or the Indian metros how are Alstom solution making it efficient for them? Like what are the success rates which they have seen with your solutions?
Okay, so I'll start off with a small, brief in terms of, what exactly, Alstom signaling, we are doing here in India. Okay, so pretty much if you look at Alstom signaling in India, okay, we deliver roughly around 7.5 million hours of engineering. Okay, with a team of around 4,000 people, who are based over here. Okay. And roughly, about 35% of Alstom's global R&D participation. Okay, maybe not owning the IP, but R&D participation, I think if you look at it, it is being done from India over here. And in terms of the project side, so we have two elements. One is the R&D part and the other one is the project participation and project delivery. Project delivery, I think if you look at it today from India, we are working on close to around 80 projects around the world. Out of which more than 40 of these projects, the entire engineering is being led from India. It's not like, we are doing some back end work or something. It is being led from India.
Wow.
Okay. So projects all the way starting from Sydney till Montreal. Okay, we are leading projects from here in India today.
Wow.
Okay, so that is the breadth of operations that we are having today in terms of signaling. I think we are pretty proud. I don't think any other OEM has this kind of a footprint when it comes to international engineering being done from India.
Makes sense.
Okay, and so our presence today in India, I think it's largely on the metro base today. I think pretty much more, close to, if you look at it in terms of kilometers, I think upwards of 65-70% of the rail networks, the rail metro networks in India, they are operating on Alstom signaling today. Okay, we are either we have already delivered or we are yet to deliver, or so we are handling this level of participation in Alstom signaling. Okay, starting right from the previous technologies, which we call it as distance to go, all the way till unattended train operation. Okay, driverless train operations. So UTO as we call it. So from this level of technology till that level of technology, we are able to deliver from India independently. For the Indian market.
Right.
Okay, so this is something which we are doing. And then when it comes to Indian Railways, I think our participation today, I think we have definitely rather than directly with the Indian Railways, I think we have worked with subsidiaries of Indian Railways. For example, the dedicated freight corridor, which is there. Okay, so the first segment of the dedicated freight corridor, which was about 342 kilometers. Okay, here if you look at it, the entire electrification of this line, plus the entire signaling of this line, the telecommunication network of this line, and this entire thing, it was done by Alstom. Okay, and this was the first section to be inaugurated by our Honorable Prime Minister. Okay, in the dedicated freight corridors, this was the first section to be inaugurated, globally. There are other segments that have been done by other OEMs, but this was the first one that was to be inaugurated. Okay, so and of course, I think you might also be aware of a new launch that we did in India. Okay, a participation that we did in India called the Namo Bharat trains. You heard of this? Okay,
I heard about it.
You heard about it, right?
If you can explain a little more.
Actually, this is the first semi-high-speed network to be established in India. Okay, so the first corridor was awarded to us, okay, in end 2020, if I remember right. Okay, and the scope was was for delivering the trains which are capable of running at around 160 kilometers per hour. Okay, international standard semi-high speed trains which are able to run at this speed, and also the signaling network. Okay, the signaling was provided by us, and the signaling for the first time in the world, this mainline signaling was done over long-term evolution, LTE, fifth generation.
Okay.
So this is the first time that such a complex system has been done over across the world. Actually, this network that I'm speaking to you about, okay, this corridor which is between Delhi and Meerut. Okay, this is the first time this technology is a world reference for Alstom, and it has not been done by any other company around the world. It's called ETCS Hybrid Level 3. Okay, so you have the semi-high speed trains, first time introduced by Alstom in India, and then you have the signaling technology over LTE 5G for the first time being done in the world by Alstom or by any other player, and it is being done in India. Already, 2 sections of this network are already, up and running today. Okay, so it's a matter of huge pride for us. The value of this network is it reduces the time of travel, from Delhi to Meerut to under an hour. So that, yeah.
And it used to be originally how long?
Originally, it used to be close to 2 hours.
Okay. It's literally
2
half
plus hours. It becomes literally half. Okay. So what is being done is, this is one of the first that there is a set of spokes, which is designed from Delhi. Okay. It's called they call it as the entity that is running it is called as NCRTC, National Capital Regional Transport Corporation. Okay. So the reason why this has been set up is they want to connect the cities which are around, Delhi, okay, which are in the vicinity of a 2 to 3 hour travel. They want to connect these cities to Delhi, okay, so that they can have sustainable and seamless mobility from these cities to Delhi, so that they can also decongest Delhi, which is an extremely important, agenda for us, in terms of a country capital. It's an extremely important agenda for us that we are able to, kind of decongest Delhi. Right. So that's the reason why this network is coming, and we are proud that Alstom has been chosen to do the first, part of this network, and I think it's been a significant success.
Right.
It was also inaugurated by our Honorable Prime Minister. So I think we have done a lot of firsts in India.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think the list is endless.
Yes.
There are a lot of firsts in your under Alstom's umbrella.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I think if you look at it, I was talking about dedicated freight corridor, right?
Right.
Okay. So some of the most high-powered locomotives. Okay. So we have an electric locomotive plant. Okay, in Madhepura, which is in conjunction with Indian Railways. Okay. So this one, if you look at it, this produces the strongest hauling locomotive, okay, in India, which is a 12,000 horsepower locomotive. Okay, it's a blue twin engine configuration we have. Okay, and this has 12,000 horsepower, and it is being used extensively in our dedicated freight corridors. And this factory is one of the 6 rolling stock factories that we have in India today.
Oh, okay.
So for rolling stock also, we have a similar presence, when it comes to engineering and when it comes to manufacturing and all that. I think we have a significant presence in India on the rolling stock side also. But okay, since I represent signaling, I will speak to you signaling and infrastructure. I will talk more about that.
Right.
Yes.
Another question that while I was talking to you, you were talking different how Indian railways and decongestion has always been a problem, or the population-wise India is really high. So what are the challenges which are very Indian, as in ki you do not see that in trains outside, or Indian problems which are very local to us? How are the problems in managing trains or signaling solutions are different in India than abroad? Are there any specific things which you have to keep in mind while you're designing your solutions for India?
If you look at it, I think sustainable mobility okay, especially within our cities.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's a huge problem statement which is there today. Okay, if you look at the congestion that we have, I think we are sitting here and we are talking in Bangalore,
Yeah.
where I guess the average travel speed here is around I don't know. I hear it differentially between 8 kilometers per hour to 10 kilometers per hour. At times they tell less also. Okay, so when you're talking about this kind of traffic congestion and all that, I think definitely, the ability to provide sustainable mobility, I think it hugely rests on the transportation sector, okay, in India. I think you have seen, if you look at it today, most of the lines in Mumbai are also being defined by us today.
Right.
Okay, you know about the condition of suburbans, the density of traffic that we have to handle in suburbans and all that. Okay, and this is restricted to, specific areas. So now if you really want to create a network of sustainable mobility, okay, I think, it is only possible with trains, okay, in India, and majorly with metros. Okay. Now, the interesting challenge that we have in India today is, in many cities, I think if you look at it, you would have noticed that, wherever a suburban network has evolved, the population density and, the growth of population has also evolved along those axes. You take it Mumbai, you take even Chennai, okay. Wherever wherever there is rail mobility has been there, the population density has been much better over there. Okay, so that is what we are trying to establish here also. But the problem we have in India today is, while in other cities outside, there has been a metro network significantly, okay, and then, population density has started to evolve around this network. So here what we are trying to do is, in India, we are trying to do it the other way, where we already have a significant population density and we are trying to connect this population density using this rail network.
Okay.
So that is where, if you look at it, I think, in terms of timelines of our projects, I think a lot of times, we are heavily challenged, okay, because, we have to ensure that life goes on while we are, creating these networks. So that is the major difference that I see, between what is happening, what has already happened, as a metro revolution outside of India versus what we are having today in India.
Right.
But the interesting part is, there is a vision that, cities, which have upwards of, 4 to 6 million, population, are candidates for metros. So definitely, there is a huge opportunity for us in terms of, providing metros to all these cities, because there are multiple cities in India, which have this level of population density. So I think it's a huge, area for us, to provide our services of sustainable mobility.
Right.
Yes.
And how do you see that adoption happening? Like, are the customers, I mean, in this case, metro owner, whoever is managing that, are acceptive of it? Because sustainability is also a very new concept to most of the Indians who are from middle class or who are not aware of it till yet, but it's the need of the hour. So how do you see the customers reacting to it? Are they acceptive of it, or what do you see their needs?
See, customers, I would put it in two types. Okay, operators are also our customers. Okay, because they are the people, who are giving us the jobs to be done, and then, we have the end customers, who are there, who are the people, who are going to be using this service. Okay. So I think if you look at it, sustainability, it has to be there, because, today, if you look at the carbon footprint that is there, okay, in our country, if you look at our carbon footprint, I think, per kilometer, okay, using a car versus using a metro, there can be a savings of roughly around 11 times. Okay, the carbon footprint that you are leaving, okay, by using a car versus taking a metro is 11 times reduced. Okay, so that being said, I think definitely, and people today, I think they have become a lot more social conscious today. Okay, if you look at it, they are concerned about the environment, the pollution that is there and all that. So that being said, I think definitely, people are really pushing this revolution. Okay, metro revolution is being pushed by the people. Okay, so that being said, because if you look at it, every time, when I meet people, even in Bangalore, the first question they ask is, when is this line coming up? When is this other? When is phase 2? When is it going to be ready? Okay, this is the kind of so the kind of acceptability and the kind of what can you say, the interest that people are having to see a metro, to see a huge metro network in their towns, I think is significant today among the population.
Right.
Okay, so this also drives the metro authorities, okay, to ensure that they are they're in a position and they're trying their best, to provide, these services, to the people. These projects, they're trying to do it, at as best a pace as possible, so that they can provide these services, to people as quickly as possible. That's the reason why you see people asking for a lot of priority corridors, where they feel that, okay, things are in place and, things can be done quickly. They don't mind, trying to, do it in segments.
Right.
As opposed to, waiting for, the entire thing to be available and then, you do it. Okay. People are trying to, also start services in segments today.
Right.
Okay. So it's a hugely consumer driven requirement, for metros that is there, okay, in our cities. Okay, I'm happy that in some cities we are proactively thinking, for example, places like your Agra, Kanpur, Lucknow, to a certain extent, Bhopal, Indore, all these places, I think, we have started working on these networks even before the population density has reached a critical limit. Right. Okay, so it's pretty interesting that we are in this part of this revolution, and Alstom is contributing hugely, to this metro revolution in India.
Right.
Interestingly, actually, to add, I think you might, if you have read it already, the first metro network, the new age metro networks for India, that is the Delhi Line 1. It was the start of Delhi Metro Rail Corporation. It was also commissioned by Alstom.
Right.
Yeah, the signaling was commissioned by Alstom, I think, way back in early 2000s, 2000, 2001. I think it was commissioned.
Okay.
So starting from there all the way, till the last Delhi line. Okay, the last one was awarded, I think, early this year. It is Delhi Line 10. Okay, so that is also done by Alstom. That's also going to be done by Alstom. So out of the 10 Delhi lines which are there, 7 of the lines are with Alstom signaling.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, so given that Alstom has been in this space for over decades now, how has your tech journey been? And you were talking about AI innovations earlier. So if you can tell me a little more about the generative AI application that you're trying to work with and how's it going?
You are mentioning, I think, we have had a long journey, okay, around the world, and also noticeably in India also, like as I told you, our first metro network signaling was commissioned with Delhi Metro Line 1, okay. So that was basically the earlier technology, which we call as distance to go. It's called, in signaling terminology, we call it as fixed block signaling. Okay, the density of trains that can be supported in a fixed block signaling is significantly limited. Okay, but today, if you look at it from there, okay, where we were looking at, we call it as a headway. The minimum time distance you can have between two trains. Okay, from a 2-minute time distance. Today, we have come to a situation where even between 60 to 90 seconds. Okay, you can have a train coming in. So that is the evolution of technology that has happened when it comes to signaling domain per se. Okay, so we have moved all the way from a distance to go manual signaling kind of a situation. We have gone to a unattended train operation, UTO, a driverless train. Okay, we have come all the way up to here. Okay, now when it comes to embracing the new age technologies, like you were mentioning about artificial intelligence. Okay. I just want to quickly remind, on the start of our conversation,
Right.
I think if you look at it, we were talking about, how artificial intelligence, affects railways.
Right.
Okay, today, if you look at it, like as I mentioned to you, I think the main element that we, there are things that we are doing when it comes to, artificial intelligence, when it comes to integrating artificial intelligence in our solutions and what we are providing to our customers. I think definitely, there is a lot of activity that has been done. Okay, and there is a lot of activities to also, a lot of solutions that you can also anticipate in the future. Okay, but one thing that we are focusing on very strongly today, I think if you look at it, is when you're talking about AI, okay, I told you about the reference of your functional safety. Okay, so today, the way in which, so whenever we talk about, AI in railways, we talk to it with reference to, functional safety. So there are a few different ways in which, if you look at it, AI can be deployed across, any industry. And let's talk specifically about the rail domain. Okay, one part, if you look at it, the first part, if you look at it, is more like, you call it as, we call it as white box AI. Okay, if you look at white box AI, basically, it is that you are able to understand what exactly is happening, inside. You are able to understand the working of AI, okay, in a given situation. Okay, you are able to understand, you are able to determine the risks that are associated. Okay, you have a clear clarity on the risks that are associated by means of using this level of AI. So that we call it as white box AI. Okay, where the impact, if you look at it, also, it will not have any functional safety impact.
Right.
Okay, for example, I think what we can talk about, when you're talking about white box AI, okay, typically, okay, you can talk about maybe passenger scheduling. Okay, passenger scheduling, I think if you look at it, okay, at what point of time, what level of passenger density will be there, and what is the level of, network availability that you might need to provide.
Right.
Okay, so these kind of things, I think if you look at it, these can come under, your white box AI, where if you look at it, any challenges that you might have, okay, it will not have a safety impact. Okay, so basically I was talking to you about something called as, automatic train supervision, right? Okay, I was talking to you about this, where it largely involves, scheduling of the network, timetable management, and all these kind of things. So here, if you look at it, we are able to, deploy some AI techniques, which will help us, kind of optimize the network and make the network more efficient.
Right.
The second level of AI that we focus on, okay, is basically called as, we call it as gray AI. Okay, this gray AI, if you look at it, okay, there is some level of determination that is available. Okay, some level of understanding that is available on how the system works, but it doesn't have a safety impact once again. For example, these things, if you look at it, this type of AI, okay, this gray box AI, I would call it, okay, that's how it's called in the industry. So this basically, if you look at it, it is used for our engineering simulations and all that. Okay, maintenance and troubleshooting. Okay, so these kind of things, if you look at it, okay, through simulations, we are able to do maintenance and troubleshooting. We are able to do, okay, and here we are also using AI.
Right.
And interestingly, the effort, because of, this kind of automations that we are able to bring in, okay, in the maintenance and troubleshooting space, we are able to get efficiencies of up to about 8 times.
Right.
So this is the level of, technology, intervention, where we are able to improve the efficiency of things that we are doing. Then the last thing, I think if you look at it, this is one space, I think we are not really too much into it today, okay, which is called as black box AI. Black box AI, the reason why we call it as a black box is, you don't really have an understanding of what exactly is happening, inside this space. And so that being said, the risks are a little bit high for us to kind of, use. Okay, this is where if you look at it, I think, your autonomous trains and all these kind of things, I think it will come into this space where it kind of infringes on basically the safety aspect of the network also.
Right.
Okay, we are working on these technologies. Okay, autonomous trains, I think if you look at it, we have a collaboration with a Netherlands-based company, if I remember right. I think we have a collaboration through which we are testing autonomous trains on freight networks. Okay, we are testing autonomous trains. Okay, so again, if you look at it, when you are talking about evolution of technology, right? Okay, when you're talking about evolution of technology, okay. I spoke about manual trains. From manual, trains. Okay, we have come all the way to automatic trains. Automatic trains is very prevalent in India today. Yeah?
Right.
When you're talking about automatic trains, basically, I think if you look at it, all actions are done by the network and the train itself by signaling. Signaling, as I told you, is the brain of the train. It drives the train. It makes the train stop at the right location, opens the door, does everything. Okay. But it is just that you have a person on board, okay, who, if there is any kind of specific intervention or a specific situation which requires a person to intervene, they are available.
Right.
Okay, but whereas in an autonomous scenario, what happens is the train needs to be enabled with a brain by itself. Okay, the train should be enabled with eyes. Okay, it is able to see things. And then it is able to take decisions by itself on the ground. Automatic trains today, if you look at it, are happening in a closed network where things are predictable. Okay, for example, in a metro network, if you look at it, it's a closed network where things are fairly predictable. So when things are predictable, okay, you are able to take decisions based on preconceived, situations. Whereas when it comes to autonomous trains, the train needs to be able to react to situations which are unpredicted. So for these kind of situations, if you look at it, we need to provide eyes to the train and we need to provide a brain to the train with which it will be able to take decisions on the spot. So this is the technology that we are experimenting today. And at some point of time, I'm hoping that it will become a reality. Just like when we spoke about autonomous cars, I don't know, maybe 10 years back, I think maybe people were not extremely appreciative of it. Okay, but today it's a reality. So that being said, I think we are testing it, and Alstom, I think it's we are on the forefront of these kind of autonomous train innovations also. And I think when it comes to the market, hopefully, I'm hoping that we might be one of the first ones to bring this technology as we have brought it. You are also aware, right? I think the fastest train on rails. Okay, you would have heard about the train called TGV. Okay.
Yeah.
So it runs at, it has been recorded in the Guinness Book, I think at 575 kilometers per hour, 574 kilometers per hour. So that's the fastest train on rails. Because I think in Japan and all that, I think if you look at it, the trains are more based on magnetic levitation. Okay, but these on rails, I think this is the fastest train, and that was an older generation of trains. I'm hoping that as we come with newer generations, I think we'll be able to improve the speed without compromising on safety and reliability.
Right. So for making this happen, how do you have technology partnerships with other companies as well? Or is it most of it is in-house?
See, today, I think if you look at it, okay, when it comes to new age technologies today, except for, I think I spoke about the autonomous trains where we are having, a collaboration with a Netherlands-based company. Apart from that, I think because we have a lot of sensing devices and all that which are there, for autonomous trains, so we have this collaboration there. Apart from this, I think if you look at it, most of the new age technologies that we are incorporating into our solutions, I think today fairly it is done in-house today. Okay, you take areas of safety and security where we are looking at what do you call, optical sensing. Using optical sensing, we are able to kind of monitor both maintenance as well as safety and security on the tracks. This again, it's an in-house solution. Then when it comes to predictive maintenance, preventive maintenance, when it comes to optimal passenger flows and all that, okay. So these are also, artificial intelligence based solutions. We have a solution in our portfolio called Masteria. I think, you can look at it, which is for multimodal transport, where you can not only, control the passenger flow densities, okay, at the same time, you can also have intermodal transport. You will be able to, marry the rail transportation with other modes of transport that are there in the city, and you will be able to, come with optimal suggestions for commuters. Okay, so this is there. Okay, and then also, in troubleshooting and maintenance, I think, we are using AI. Okay, so this also, if you look at it, for example, let's take this one is a very interesting use case I want to tell you. Okay, today the network is more and more communication based. So you lose communication, the network comes to a standstill. So if you are able to predict a loss of communication, that can save a lot of effort to the operator, okay, in terms of downtime as well as, problems to the people. So we have come up with AI based data science based initiative. We have come up with a product which will be able to tell us at what point of time we feel that a radio communication device might fail.
Right.
Being able to predict it, and also we might be able to, if a failure happens, rather than go through the entire network and trying to look at each of these devices, we will be able to point with pinpoint accuracy using AI that this is the specific device that has failed. So with this, if you look at it, we are able to save time in terms of doing repairs that have already happened. And then with this predictability that we are having, in terms of checking up the network, in one of the projects, I think it was Santiago, okay, where we deployed this, we were able to save close to around 200,000 euros per year just on the maintenance of these radio devices. So that is the power of AI. Even though, as I mentioned to you, all these things will fall more in the category of white box AI. Even in this area, I think if you look at it, we are able to bring significant savings for our customers. And this is something which we are also trying to deploy in India also for the NCRTC project that I spoke to you about. We are planning to, do this kind of network determination techniques using AI. We are planning to deploy it even in India.
Wow, that was really insightful. Talking about AI, do you personally use any of the generative AI products like ChatGPT for writing or finding solutions, or anything like Suno AI, like the audio, the voice translation app? Anything of that sort which you use in your daily life?
What I use in my daily life, very interesting question. I think we are surrounded by AI today in our lives. Okay, in Bangalore, I think the best AI that you can use is Google Maps. I am a big fan. Okay, because the way it is able to proactively and interactively suggest you what is the route that you need to take home. I think that is the most important element living in Bangalore for me. So that is one which I use a lot. Okay, ChatGPT, I use it. Okay, but again, ChatGPT, because it uses generative AI, the more you are able to encapsulate the area in which you want ChatGPT to give you an answer, the more accurate it can be. Okay, so definitely for ChatGPT, I think if you look at it, I think maybe it's more useful for the kids today for their assignments, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, I see a lot of kids talking about it, including mine. But for me, I think if you look at it, basically this is a very important area where I see it. The other thing, what I also forgot to tell you, which I was very raptured about is, I think energy savings that we can provide on the network using AI.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. What we are able to do is, I forgot to tell you about this. What we are able to do is, we are able to, configure the network in such a way that the train can be run in a certain way. It follows a certain way of running, acceleration, deceleration, and all these things. And also, energy savings and all these things that you're using, regenerative braking and all these things that we're able to use. We are able to bring close to around a 20% savings, in energy usage of our customers.
Right.
Okay, this also I feel is something which has really excited me. I also at times use a metro. Okay, so I think this is also a great advantage of how AI is affecting our lives. I would say.
As Managing Director for Alstom India's Signaling and Infrastructure Initiatives, what excites you most about your work? Be it in terms of work, or the kind of work which you are doing, or the solutions which you are providing, impact side or the research side, what do you think would be your favorite part?
My favorite part, if you look at it, is I think leading Alstom in pioneering its journey in terms of providing services to the people across the world from India. Alstom has been pioneering in that, and I am so proud that I have been a part of this journey, right from initiation, okay, to where we are today. When it comes to integrating, the new age technologies into Alstom's products, I think Alstom India is becoming a go-to place. Okay, so the vision that we have been able to bring, Alstom from just a back-end, services provider to leading engineering today, from the forefront, leading projects across the globe. Okay, I think these are things which make me really proud. And these are things which I think is bringing a huge value to Alstom as a company. So being an Indian citizen, I think bringing this unparalleled participation for the world from India, I think that's really a moment of pride to reckon for me.
And looking ahead, what are the solutions that you have under development and we can expect to see in life?
Today, I think if you look at it, I spoke to you definitely about the participation that we have in projects today. Okay,
Right.
I think today any new project that any new project that Alstom is starting to work, any greenfield metro project that Alstom is starting to work across the globe, will be led from India. That is the vision that we have today.
Right.
Okay, it's a pretty huge vision to have, from where we started off today. On the R&D side today, I think we contribute, in terms of hours, we contribute around 35% of the hours for Alstom's R&D. Every 1 hour out of 3 hours is being done from India. And we want to make it 1 out of 2 in the coming 2 to 3 years.
Right.
So it's a huge goal that we have. And it's a huge responsibility on us, as the Indian arm of the company, to ensure that we deliver, the right quantity at the right quality, so that, we can make Alstom succeed globally. India today is not just about Alstom succeeding in India. Alstom succeeding in India is about Alstom making Alstom succeed in the world.
Right. Thank you so much. This is a lovely conversation and I wish you all the best for all the projects.
Thank you, Shritama. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity to talk to you. I think it's been a pleasure recollecting and also, sharing the vision that we have, in India as a company. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.